Hello everyone, you are about to hear a brief summary of the movie Wonder Boy. Enjoy watching. When Sean was 9 years old, his mom was killed before his eyes. He grew up and is now in high school. He trains a lot and for some reason is also studying chemistry additionally. He never came to terms with the loss, neither did Sean. Instead of going to the party, he changed clothes and wandered into the city's crime-ridden area. The guy silently watched as the dealer sold the dose to a woman who came here with a teenage girl. Hooligans noticed Sean and started to harass him. They knocked him to the ground and began to beat him, but suddenly Sean fought back. After beating the attackers, the schoolboy took the gun and pointed it at the gangsters. The dealer tried to take back his gun, but instead got shot. Detective Teresa Rimes recently got a promotion. The woman intends to put a notorious villain behind bars. However, Larry plans to make a deal with the prosecutor. The criminal threatens that as soon as he gets out, he will immediately get to her and her little son. Teresa met her new partner, chauvinist and racist Gary. Sean often stops by this police station. He is friends with the chief, Bill Baldo. The boy ran away, and Teresa found out that he was interested in a toxin called 3.1. Teresa saw that the tire of her car was flat and tried to change it. Sean silently watched her, and when the woman noticed him, he offered to help. In gratitude, Teresa offered Sean a ride, but he, as usual, took the subway. When Terry returned home with groceries, he heard Sean in the basement pounding the bag. The guy got so carried away that he almost broke the punching bag. Terry also used to box. He hopes to find common interests with his son, but he isn't having much success. It's not surprising, since when Sean was little, his father beat him badly, as well as his mother. Terry was quite a monster. At the station sits a friend of the murdered drug dealer. Gary is certain that he's the one who took down the bandit, so there's nothing to investigate. Teresa asked a colleague to tell her about this strange guy. When Sean witnessed the killing of the boys started coming to the station all the time and looking at photos of criminals. This is of course against the rules, but Chief Bill allows him to do it. Teresa offered Sean her help. She is a good detective. When the guy was alone, he called someone with a new phone and asked to get him a girl. He called Joe, a pimp who abuses his sick employee. The scoundrel dragged Lizzie outside and pulled her to the car. At that moment, Sean attacked him. The bold brute fought back and beat the schoolboy. Then he took a bat out of the trunk. Meanwhile, Sean armed himself with a telescopic baton. With it, he knocked the pimp down. The thug backed off and ordered the girl to go home. According to him, the hero didn't save the poor girl, but made things worse. He would return and beat her half to death. Upon hearing this, Sean pulled out the dealer's gun and shot the bold bastard. At home, the schoolboy treated his wounds and remembered how he ended up at the police station after his mother's murder. In the morning, Teresa interrogated the prostitute, but Lizzie couldn't describe the killer. He was all in black, and it was dark outside. And besides, Joe was a scumbag. He had previously killed one young worker. Lizzie was next in line, so it's unlikely anyone will help the investigation. That stranger is a real hero, not a criminal. Teresa found out that Larry Schalza will most likely be released, and because of this case, her marriage fell apart. Sean continues to train hard at the gym to always stay in shape. In the morgue, Teresa recalled tricelaron and learned from the coroners what it is. It is a rather rare poison that irritates the muscular system. The muscles swell and suffocate the person, so the victim is killed by their own body, not the poison. Furthermore, tricelaron is very difficult to detect. Terry tries to be a good father. He even watches cooking. Show to feed the killer's son a delicious dinner. Sean struggles with the violence in society and, especially towards women and children. Teresa invited the kid to have lunch together. She studied Sean's case and wants to get to know him better. The woman admitted that her son lives with her ex-husband because she was always busy at work. In the restaurant, a rude cashier called Teresa a persistent bitch in Chinese. So you choke a priest, so Yan Chikyao will need choke a freak, added the wife. A little. Sean knows Chinese and threatened to shoot them both in the H if they don't watch their language. Unfortunately, Teresa didn't find anything new in his case. It looks like a regular robbery. 9 years have passed. The young man should start living a normal life. However, Sean won't stop until he finds the killer. Moreover, he does not believe in justice. They are going to release Larry Childs under the Witness Protection Program. And after all, he killed 2 people. Teresa directly asked Sean why he needed Triceratops, and the schoolboy replied that he was just writing a paper on the history of poisons. Today, the whole precinct is seeing the chief off to retirement. Teresa told her partner that both recent victims, the dealer and the pimp, were killers somewhere. She tends to think they were taken out by the same person. The woman decided to talk to the chief about Ashone. Baldwin asked Teresa to leave the guy alone. He is already confused and doesn't need to be indulged. The drunk cops headed home on the metro, when suddenly a passenger ran into the car and asked to break up 2 fighting men. It was that unhinged vagrant causing trouble, who constantly harasses women. Now he's found another victim for his bullying. Sean entered the car in his night outfit right before the attack. He painted his face with battle paint and put brass knuckles on his hands. He approached the vagrant and started hitting him. Taking down this brute is not easy, but then the drunkard was on the floor and started begging for them to stop. Beat him up, but Sean didn't stop. He turned the thug's face into a mess and ran out of the car only when the police arrived. Teresa gave chase after the Night Avenger but couldn't catch him. At home, Sean's father was waiting for him. He found out that his son injects himself with testosterone and takes steroids. Terry was furious. Curious about what Sean does at night and why he's constantly beaten up. But he did not receive an answer before beating up the tramp. The Avenger asked the Chinese family to leave the car, meaning he knows Chinese Sean dreamed that Teresa arrested him, but in reality his father woke him up. Today is Sean's birthday, and Terry surprised him by taking him to a cafe where he often had lunch with his wife before Sean was born. After that attack, Terry moved with his son to a safer neighborhood. The owner of the establishment called the man by his old nickname, Rock, like Rocky Balboa. He was quite a scrapper and hung out with a bad crowd. Then they went to a local gym to watch a kickboxing tournament. At the end of the day, Terry brought Sean to the place where his wife was killed. The man told his son that his mom died that day, but not him. Sean must keep living, and he remembers what a scoundrel he used to be. How much pain he caused Sean and his late wife, but he has started a new life and wants his son to do the same. Teresa came to Baldwin's home to talk about Sean again. The man recalled how he first saw the boy. Baldwin asked him to look at photos of the criminals, and the boy immediately pointed to one picture, saying that's the killer of his mom. But his father Terry began to deny it, even though the boy looked at him like he was crazy. Terry still convinced his son to say he was mistaken. Baldwin heard the name of this criminal again after 9 years. It's Larry Childs, the scoundrel whom Teresa is going to put behind bars. When his name surfaced in the newspapers, Sean became obsessed. He is 100% sure that Larry killed his mother. Sean also believes that his father betrayed him. The schoolboy found the detective when she was spending time with her son. Teresa is now wary of him. She does not want to let her son near the suspect, but Sean came only to say that he is starting a new life. Nani. Now everything will change. The guy finally came to the party. Teresa started watching him, though she isn't sure if she's doing the right thing. A partner called and reported that Charles received only 2 years, and then the witness protection program. At the party, Sean met a pretty girl from his school. She became curious about where the student got such bruises. I fought with a pimp and he hit me with a baseball bat. You're strange. The school bully who used to bother the blonde jest cu un pe dambuiu, dana is pestering a girl. He's kind of like her boyfriend, but she's not happy about it. Memories overwhelmed Sean. He remembered how before attacking his mom, the killer called his father a rocker. It turns out he knew him. Then he saw the scoundrel grab the blonde's hair. Sean brutally beat up the bully. But, for the Avenger, that wasn't enough. He grabbed the poker and started hitting the boy's internal organs. Those who tried to stop him also got hurt. Sean took the car keys from a friend and drove off somewhere. Teresa followed him. Finally, Sean clearly remembered what happened that night. Terry owed a significant amount of money. When did the time come to pay back the cash? The thug killed his mom, and his dad did nothing to stop him. When Terry came home, he figured the savior took him here. The man called 911, but then found his son in the basement. The boy had broken into the police station earlier and found their photo with Larry. Terry killed mom for money, as he got a decent sum from her insurance, and he was able to settle with Larry. But Terry stated that it wasn't like that, because the son didn't recognize Larry from the photograph. He is also mistaken now. Sean's version is complete nonsense. Does he really think his dad is such a monster? Sorry that I can't believe you. Teresa entered the house. Sean did not run away and told the detective that his father killed his mother with Larry Schultz to get the insurance payout. His body is in the basement. Sean asked for help and Teresa helped him avoid punishment by throwing the gun into the river. Some robber just burst in on them. The guy wrote a letter to Schultz in which he told his story. He forgave the criminal for what he did to his mom, but it is important for him to know if his father was an accomplice to the murder. Schultz doesn't even need to write anything. Sean sent him 2 stamps. The criminal should put a black stamp on the envelope if the father is guilty, and a red one if he is not. Schultz licked one of the stamps and stuck it on the envelope. After some time, the prisoner felt ill. He started to suffocate and soon died due to the poison that was applied to the stamp, and Sean received a letter with a red stamp.